Absolutely, we see a Dark Knight Cecil here as we're starting. It looks like the gate has dropped. We are off to the races here. We have our Cecil joined by an Edward.
Power couple.
With a free boss feeding them the hook.
Well, that's a character check straight off, which I don't think either of them are going to not take up. They're going to go straight and check to see who that character is down there.
Absolutely. With these two, free character is nothing to scoff at. I do also figure an Ordeal's play will be fairly quick as soon as they can get some way to actually fight those fights there. Could be that character there, but we've got 5 objectives coming up here real quick. So we're going to wait to see here.
Objectives, these are the names of the game. Yep. We've got defeat King and Queen Evelyn, get Porum, Teller, Mount Ordeals, and Fabul.
And the thing is, we already found the King and Queen Evelyn. They're hiding right behind that Baron key, so this could be a complete jet here, depending on where we find these people. Speaking of, that is not the Forum, that's a Palom guarded by the Water Hag there in the Baron Inn.
So we know 5 of our characters already. Dark Knight Cecil, Edward, Palom, Porum, and Teller, just from the objectives. So right now, there isn't a whole lot of early game power outside of Palom.
No, not especially. Yeah, you wanna, and you see a silent staff in the back of the barren grass there. That's going to be useful if we find that Porom early. But that also does mean that character check in Cave Evelyn could be a fair zonk there. You really want to see that Palom, or you want to see one of the other 2 characters there, if at all possible.
Yeah, it is a gated location, so there is the possibility that Fu or Edge could be there. Numbers aren't looking too good for it, since we already know 5 of the characters, but we'll see when we get down there.
That's true. Numbers, however, on the numbers of key items these players require, I mean, it's, you find a Baron key, you find your Zeroma's fight access, and you're already in go mode.
Yeah, it's... yeah, Baron Key is literally the only item that these characters need. So one of the things that might be coming into play here is that starting Edward with possibly Edward strats.
They are going to have to dig up quite a bit of money to get that Edward strats off the ground, as I do remember it takes quite a good many star veils to get that going there. So a lot of chest checks here.
Yeah, 20 at minimum, 30 is ideal, but you're also going to want on a few either silk webs or a dancing dagger at the least to just keep those things going. But yeah, it will take a bit of money out of the pocket, but you can sell everything else for it.
True. They did that dancing dagger is also going to be huge for early game checks. There, they do have means of offense to clear things like Antlion. There's a Porom, there's an objective.
And there's a semi-free boss. That's either the Kaipo Gods or Baron Gods.
You definitely kind of want to see, I would rather the Kaipo Inn fight there. But yeah, semi-free if you can find a coffin at the least. A mute bell makes things a little bit better if it's the Baron Guards. Baron Guards do hit a little bit hard there.
And it's more you just want to get rid of the counter attacks. Once you get a few blinks up with Porum, and since you're getting her early, she's going to have that spell available once she gets to that point. Right, most of that should be free in terms of that particular fight.
It does look like Dragus hit the save point in the back there. Both of them are going to try to loot out. We don't know where that Staleman chest is yet on either of their screens, but it looks like both of them want to get a little bit of value out of this Cave Evelyn run here.
Yeah, this is one of the gated locations. The loot here is a lot better than you'd find in many other locations. So that early hook just gives them access to money, basically. And I think money is the big thing that they're going to be looking for.
Absolutely. Dragus, I think I have it down between our 2 runners here. I believe it is the upper right chest in the first room, maybe? Yeah, both of them have not hit that chest there, so both of them did come out of this with quite a bit of actual good things.
Yeah, there's that dancing dagger for Edward. So one part of the Edward strategy is on.
That power staff that just landed on Palom, also a fairly good early game weapon there. 2 pieces of dragoon gear in the armor shop.
Not really the one you want most of all, which is that dragoon helmet or chest piece. The gloves tend to be a little less useful when the shield, if you find a decent two-handed weapon, and like the Avenger, you're not going to be making use of it.
No, but I do like it if you have the semi-more common headband, black belts, and or strength rings there. Like I said, semi-more common than the Avenger, still probably about just as common as a rune axe, however.
Yeah, you definitely want to see a decent weapon for Cecil, or preferably one of his holy swords. But right now, you're going to take anything that you can get if you can get past ordeals. It is an objective, but we still don't know what bosses are up there, and this isn't exactly a power team right now.
No, they have enough things to clear, again, like with that dancing dagger, that power staff, that silent staff I saw error grab. Spear Zero should be attainable now.
So once they've done this loop, looks like Dragus is heading up to Hobbs, looking to pad out his team a little bit more. We'll see whatever goes after that. I wouldn't put it past anyone to do an early ordeals play. And there's our 6th character, Yang.
Yang brings a much-needed frontline presence that comes up later. With this team, they probably want that. He's not unwelcome here. At least that's what I would say here.
No, definitely not. Doesn't get a whole lot of damage or attack power early on, but he does gain health fairly quickly, so that's probably going to be a lot more useful than his damage output right now.
Yeah, he does have to scale a lot early game, but for my money, he is one of the best reliable people to take to Zeromus, honestly.
I completely agree. I feel that he's a lot better than a fairly decent geared Kane. I mean, personally, if you get him up to those high 40s, but we've got to see. We've got to get to that point yet.
So I do believe after the Hobbs play here, getting that Yang in their party, we're probably going to be looking at a fairly standard trip over to Antlion, I would guess. Yep, Dragus is doing that. The question is, with this party, you have a Cecil, you know Atella is around somewhere, neither of them check Kaipo, but how fast do you make your way to Mount Ordeals?
With the Dancing Dagger on Edward, now there's a couple of levels. The play to go straight after this isn't bad. It's likely not going to happen, but it's definitely a possibility just to get that Cecil gaining levels for real.
Yeah, the only one thing is there are some bosses up there you just really don't want to see. You just really don't want to see like a Valvelist. You don't want to see a back attack Magus Sisters, who are incredibly rude in that spot, as my practice has taught me.
Yang could pad that out a bit, but as we've already stated, he doesn't have a whole lot of early game attack power, so that might be an issue. We'll have to see what our runners really decide, and what they're the ones racing this. What they decide is likely going to be better than many situations that we can think up.
Yeah, and as Valvelus points out, and we saw that Cat Claw Antline definitely helps a ton. 5 strength, 5 agility, and a grimoire there. Cursed ring, that's important.
Cursed rings are probably the most prized possession in this game at this current iteration.
Absolutely, and that's an old gauntlet. Work for your key item, I suppose.
The thing about this old gauntlet is there's nothing dangerous here. However,
No,
at this stage, Yeah, at this stage, they've got no way of getting through these fights quickly because they are all at least 3, 4, 5 enemies.
True, and they're probably going to have to, if I recall the Fabul Gauntlet at this point, the last fight is going to be the Jelly fight, which means they're probably going to have to throw one of their J items just to clear that at any, or 4 Dancing Daggers, but who really wants to sit through that?
Well, if whatever way you get through it is, you get through it. A couple of Weepers now.
Yeah. It does give them quite a bit more experience than the 1500 you would normally get from this boss spot, but that seems to be the current, that seems to be pretty much how that usually goes. Cecil's Dark Wave does actually, I believe, pierce their defense, but with only a Shadow Sword on him, not exactly, if I recall.
I think it's based a little bit off of his HP as well, I'm not certain, so it still won't do a whole lot of damage.
And I'm a liar, because apparently there is not that fight here, because that last fight, I'm pretty sure that's fight 5, is that Sandworm and Sandpede there.
So, yeah, that's the 7 out of 8. So the Jelly fight must be somewhere either 1, 5, or 8 on the actual encounter table.
Value for a summoner we're not likely to see here with 6 out of the 7 characters identified here.
No, but it is a fair amount of money. I believe that will sell for 10,000 GP, so nothing to really say no to.
I mean, with the hook already in their possession, we do know that the usual suspects you normally can't find, Wyvern, Val, and Golbez, are out there, are possibly lurking in any of these spots. With a means of underground access already in their possession, the safeties do not matter anymore. Ruby spot was either the Baron Guards or the Kaipo Inn fight in Venerable.
Yeah, so semi-free, but nothing guaranteed until they actually get there and find out for sure.
And I know a lot of people are liking to fade the Fabul fight here. With this party, I actually kind of like going there. I'd rather actually save it for if I have a Paladin Cecil, but that's a Dark Elf. That's not really dangerous there.
Yeah, I'm definitely on team don't fade Fabul because 6 out of 10 times for me, it's had something important.
I mean, right now, I'd go just because with this party, even with that quasi-free fight there, I do not want to dive that hook with this team.
Yeah, and it's a good little boost of levels. Although you don't get the full experience from this fight because it's a split fight, like there is still a little bit of an infusion for Edward, Yang, and Porum before going up ordeals, which will likely be the next play.
Yeah, Team 1's Berserk, you probably won't get Berserk just because he's probably going to be tossing Dancing Daggers until probably the point in time where his services are no longer required in this party.
The good part about this particular getting Porum early is that the experience that gained from everything they've done so far, she should actually get Berserk by the end of the back attack on ordeals.
That sounds fairly well right, yes.
So that early Berserk is going to help very much.
Of course, the bull is also an objective, so hey, why not? Second Cat Claw in the pub in the bull. Great for your Yongs.
Dragus has found both of those. Error hasn't actually been able to, didn't actually loot out Antlion completely, so didn't find it, or that cursed ring. And that is such an out of the way place for item check. I don't think he's going to find that one either.
That is going to be unfortunate because while Yang does take a little bit to get moving, the more bonuses, the more multipliers you can stack on him by just getting those strength items gets him moving even faster. So that's not a great sign. Hope you find some Poison Claws. something like that. Nothing great in that weapon shop either in Fabul.
No, not really. I think the thing that Dragus is looking for most of all at the moment, if he's looking for it in the weapon shop, is a Thunderclaw.
Yeah, life pots also a good thing to find. A lot of my practice seeds have been fading a ton of shop checks, and never just realized how many life pots I throw in a seed. I have ran out on multiple occasions. Also, I did not see if Error did check that pub.
I don't believe he did. He did get down there very quick, so we'll find out if he. Oh, Valvelis is saying he did. So he does have one cat claw, which is mostly all you need really for Yang. A cat claw and a elemental claw for the fights.
Yeah, it's far better than it's far better than 0 cat claws. Dragus has, however, and I totally agree with this, it is definitely time for heals. Definitely trying to get your, although we have not really found any great weapons for Cecil. I did see a Dragoon armor in the Antlion Cave. Best is maybe a fire sword I've seen for him.
Right now, you're not really too bothered about him having a weapon. It's nice if he does get one, but you really just want him gaining levels at this moment in time, and anything you find later is just bonus.
True. I would do see them going and immediately grabbing that Palom out of the Baron Inn as well. After that, just because how T-Pro is, I might be coerced to think that, depending on the key items here, Castle Evelyn is still out there.
And Dragus just took off for that Fire Claw. He might want to put it back on.
Yeah, he definitely wants to do that. 200 is nice, but not the probably 500 to 600 he'd be doing with that Fire Claw there.
Kyoto's coming out from Porum on this Mylan Z, who is weak to almost everything in the game.
Arrows, curative magic, fire. Can't remember if Holy Weapon actually heals him because it just rolls over, but...
I think the only thing he isn't weak to is ice, which he actually absorbs.
In Ben, cat claws are for punching. Always for punching. Error replaces the Fire Claw with that cat claw. Might be thinking to put that back on mid-fight here, seeing this Mylon Z. No, just going right at it.
Interesting that they're not taking advantage of that. And Baigon in the back attack spot. This isn't exactly dangerous, but it's not exactly free either.
No, here we see an immediate Gaia drum being thrown here. That's something they did both find, I believe, in the trip down in the Evelyn Caves.
Yeah,
I might have saved that for the second item, the throw, however, because that wall is up, and I do believe they had either a Zeus Rage or a Boreas. I cannot remember what I saw there. But that
they do have that Grimoire as well, so that could be an option to throw out. But he's going with the other option, which is just let Yang punch.
Yeah, that is Berserk right at the back attack slot, as you said there, and that'll do it.
Yeah, quite high magic attack in this spot, so those vampires are doing a little bit of work, but the main body's down now. Just get rid of the arms, and you'll be fine.
And no, Inven, I don't want my 0 attack power that bad. I want my +5 strength and agility that bad. Anyway, Baigon getting kicked down into the deep ravine. It does look like errors will be following suit here, as I do see the Berserk being cast onto Yang here.
Yeah, very, very mirrored in their style of fighting here. Yeah, take down the arms once, then let Yang do the rest of the work with his pit fists. So the item we get
is pretty spicy in a darkness crystal. It's likely not required unless Tella's parked up there. Or Baron Key.
You know, we've got a level 1 Cecil. If Tella is up there, we could be having an early D machine grind.
True, that is the case. That also is the Kaipo guards, which also confirms that it is the Baron guards at the Ruby slot.
Oh, train sword going on.
This is not a drill. We have a drain sword equipped.
Drain swords, you don't really want to be equipping them, people. They're not the best.
What, you mean you don't like -5 to every stats and a particularly woeful accuracy?
Not particularly, no.
I mean, I don't blame you.
But then again, it does make the Z-fight doable in certain situations.
Certain adventure-based situations.
Or hold A to for literally 20 minutes to get through Zeromus.
Anyway, it's we're 21 minutes in and 3 objectives on almost both sides here.
Yeah, so we're still really just looking for that Baron key.
Yeah, especially with the next check on it. But yeah, you make a very good point. If that's Tella on the moon, both of them should probably be gunning for ethers wherever they can find them, and running for that D machine.
Yeah, get Tella on the moon, grab that Palom from Baron Inn, which is where Dragus is going right now. D machine ain't up. You'll have Yang who can punch for days. There's Porum who will get Cure 4, or Palom who will get Nuke, and that's a very, very happy Zeromus party.
Yes, it is. Does back row that Cecil is staying with the Drain Sword here.
Well, he doesn't have anything better unless he wants to put that...
I might go with that Mute Dagger, actually.
Mute Dagger? Yeah, actually, that would be a better option. Or the Dancing Dagger that Edward has equipped.
True. I mean, it does not matter for this boss, as Water Hag, free boss in a free slot.
Yeah. Has no one in the center spot, so that does make Edward up the top there his agility anchor at this moment in time.
It's not the greatest, as Edward has been gaining levels. Edward, we usually rag on for quite a many things. However, if he is good at one thing, it's being fast.
Yeah, easily the fastest agility growth of any character in the game. It's not really too bad here because the next spot is extremely slow, so he should be getting 1 or 2 turns more compared to it. But if you were doing this in a faster spot, you would not like it.
That's Rubicant's. It is a fairly slow spot here. I do not believe Dragus has any ice-based weapons to leverage against this Rubicant, however. I could be wrong. Does have a Blizzard item, is going to throw it.
And it is on Cecil, so 600 hit points turns into 1,416.
That'll do it.
Not too bad.
Meanwhile, Eric finds Tense, but not the ethers we were looking for there.
He's just raised Luna Well, so he should be heading up there pretty much next. So he's going to forgo Baron? No, looks like he's changed his mind about going up and is heading there now. Yeah, bit of indecision there.
Ooh, that's an Earth Crystal. I mean, that's great. At the very least, even if you don't go up Zot right now, just because of how T-Pro is, The Troya Treasury is unique for one thing. It is one of the few places in the game where you can potentially get that Tier 7 weaponry.
If I were either of these characters, I am beelining it to that treasury now.
Run. Absolutely, yeah. That treasury is looking mighty great right now. Sell off everything you don't need, free up the space, clean it out.
Yeah, you've got 3 characters at the very least who want some decent equipment, and the mage is not so much. Young, definitely not, but Cecil, we need a weapon for him, and some mage gear would be nice. So yeah, go here, pick up those items. You might find a few decent J items like sirens or hourglasses in this lot as well. Everything is welcome.
I did see a charm rod for that Palom at least. We do have star veils for sale in Troya as well. Neither runner has checked the moon character, Maggie, so we do not know who the moon character is.
Also picking up a mute bell from that Troya pub shop. Mute bells, I think in this iteration of the flag set, is probably one of the most underrated items in the game by a lot of our runners, because they do so much for what it looks like.
And I mean, silence. Look no more, but one of those fights that silence does great on is that fight that is staring them in the ruby slot there. Being able to disable all of those counter magics is going to be quite good. Great things inside there, at least in terms of a power robe. Great if you have access to edge at least, but no holy sword.
Yeah, was just about to put that power sword on. Power sash onto Cecil. No, it goes on Yang. No one else right now. Yang gets that.
I mean, Yang generally gets my power sash anyway, just based on how he works there. But yeah, I might have been. I'm surprised Dragus is exiting out there. I would check the other 9 chests in there. Even a fire sword or an ice brand would be favorable to that drain sword he is swinging around right now.
It is possible that he might have seen something in the actual shop down in Eblin Cave that he wants to pick up later. It is possible there's a light sword or a blizzard sword in there, or ice brand, sorry.
Elixir in the first chest is odd. Always good to see one of those.
Searching for the trapped treasure chest. Not a bad play here. We're still looking for a weapon for Cecil, so Barkus Wine in the second one. That's really nice.
Yeah, that is one less berserk you have to cast in one of any annoying part of the game you have there. Especially even in this Roman's fight, if you take one white mage in there, your white mage is overloaded with things to do. Do I berserk this person? Do I cure 4? Do I try to res somebody? Dragus thinking a little bit here. Do I go look for that flame dog? Apparently says yes. Yes, he does. And there he is. Also going to be really useful there. That's a base level Palom, so the Cat Claw sends him to sleep immediately, removing any kind of threat this flame dog may have been.
Ooh, 33 damage with that drain sword.
Look out, monsters.
Actually, I think we should say 33 healing by that drain sword. It didn't damage at all, it just did 33 healing.
Yep, absolutely. Unfortunately, not... You know what?
I'll take that.
I would slap that life staff onto Cecil right now.
It's better damage than anything else he's got, so I wouldn't blame it at all.
Meanwhile, a Sylph in the pot. Error does not check the other 8 chests. And that's Mylon and friends, as we've already seen Mylon Z.
Does he have any more clearing, mass clearing items? Kick isn't really going to cut it for this.
No, Palom might know Fire 2 at this point in time.
No, I don't think he's had enough experience to get that. But we'll find out soon enough.
Does have all the tier 2s there.
Well, he does have Fire 2. So.
Still going to take a little bit here to whittle down the regular Mylon here.
Yeah. Putting out a Cure 2 with Porum on one of the guards. Luckily it didn't kill the one that he was targeting, so should be that last one down.
I really kind of hope, I've never actually seen a Drain Sword interact with the undead.
I believe it heals them and does damage to you, but I'm not entirely certain.
That's what I was thinking what might be happening there, but... anyway, we do have Divergence. Error did loot out the treasury and says, no, I am not going to go there. I'm going to shop check, and I thought might be heading to the whale, possibly.
Okay, so the Drain Sword does bonus damage to zombies, so you're basically just stealing it more from yourself.
That is a smart move by the zombies. Let's give ourselves a weakness to a Drain Sword. They'll never see this coming. It does look like we are going to be getting the Moon character check here. Error firing up Lunar Whale here.
Yeah, so a bit of divergence here. Dragus is seeing value in the Zot check, while Error is seeing value in checking this character on the moon. Both are leading to characters. Could have that teller still.
Could have that Tella, could have our mystery 7th character. Who knows who that is yet. Also, access to the Hummingway shop, which is rather nice. I like those Ether 2s. I love those cabins.
That's exactly what you want to see, knowing you're going to be picking up Teller and having access to a Darkness Crystal.
Oh yeah, if this is Tella, I love where Error is right now.
I don't think we're going to see the Dragus go and do a D machine before checking who's on the moon. So this could be worth it for him if this is an item that's necessary, like the Baron Key.
Well, that's not a Tella, but that is a D machine grind as we find our 7th character. That's everybody's favorite mop in his vanilla station.
I like this team. I like this team more than ever now.
Yeah, there goes Eddie. Who cares about Tella? We've got Old Man 2.0. Does Airhead immediately... Oh, there's Tella at Zot. Both players now have D-Machine on the table.
And Error is coming back down rather than going straight to the Giant of Babel.
True, we have not seen Fu's spell set yet. We do not know if Fu has weak yet. Both have, however, benched their bards.
However, we do know that Teller does, because we have completed ordeals.
We have a not random at all Valvelus. As Error apparently says, Fu, that's plenty for Zot. Let's go there right now.
So, we've had vanilla in both of these checks. Valvelus and Fu.
Yeah. Oh, there was another Cactclaw in the treasury as well. Let's see, we've got Quake, we've got Ice 3, no weak in that spell list just yet.
Yeah, what Invincible says is absolutely true. This spot, unfortunately, doesn't have any physical defense, so Berserk up that Yang, let him go to town, you'll be fine. I'm just need to get through the 4,000, 5,000 hit points of this spot.
It's rather strange that this does not get her tornado defense, given your party here in the vanilla game is Cecil, Kane, Rosa, Yang, and Sid, so 4 bruisers, and they're all screaming at Kane to jump.
Yeah, I think that's just a bug in the randomizer programming, which seems to have taken it away somehow. And I think there might be a workaround coming for it later, but that's in the mind of Broadface, and we'll find out when it happens.
Oh, come on, this game is a well-coded masterpiece.
It works.
Anyway,
better than some games.
Yes. I mean, I wasn't even joking about the masterpiece. We love this game.
We wouldn't be playing it otherwise.
Indeed. Eric gonna have a much easier time with this Mylon and friends, as we did spy Quake in Fu's spell list.
And straight up is now his first spell, so easy access.
And that's also a very good, I do see that Eric did target a Yang Punch over to Palom. I believe that's all but announcing, yes, I want the slingshot. Only a rock at the end of...
I would put down Cecil as well right now. Make sure he doesn't gain too many more levels, because I still believe he's lower than 5 ahead.
Not anymore with those 10 levels.
No, not behind, not now, but slingshotting in Cecil to obscure amounts of power as well would have made it a whole lot easier.
True, and was that week I just saw Fu getting granted there? I believe it was. So anyway, our runners are swapping here, saying, okay, I'll check this that you've already checked, and so Error is going to find the Tella. Dragus is going to find the Fu.
And then they're both immediately going to go up to the Giant of Babel. So there's no real separation between them right now.
No, you are likely going to see dueling D-machines here very soon, I would guess.
And then it'll just be a matter of how far do they want to go? Does one cut it off early because they're going to risk getting the Baron Key late? Or are they going to go to nuke on Palom, White on Porum, and just say, I'm hoping to find the Baron Key early?
Oh my, Error says, I don't need this Paladin. We're taking this old man. Cecil has been kicked. We looking full-on reflex strats coming from Error?
Well, now we know why he let him gain some levels. Yeah, you're right, the only thing that I can see is reflex strats. It's Palom, Porum, and Fu. Let Tella be your agility anchor, Yang be your soak of damage.
What was setting up for a Lit 2 to kill Tella, Val says, no, I gotcha, I'll just exact damage him right now for you.
Yong's doing some work though right now. Those are some hefty punches.
Absolutely. Yeah, Yang doing what Yang does. I mean, here you go. Here's your double cat claws at work, making Yang online much faster than normal. The power robe might also help.
Yeah. And there goes Val. Just as Dragus is picking up Fu.
Yeah, so Dragus is about to get the news that everything you could ever want is in the Hummingway shop. Question is, who does Dragus kick for this foo?
I can see him doing Teller. I don't think he's going to have the same team as Error. I think he's going to have Palom Fu.
Yeah, it does immediately send Tella to the bench. Valve's making a good point there. They both did get a rock, an adamant rock, off of that. Now, mind you, neither has been underground yet. But should this Baron Key prove elusive, and a Legend Sword appear out of nowhere, that Cecil that Dragus kept will immediately go online here.
So, Error.
We have
Error and Dragus.
We have synced giant trips here. I mean, Invenerable, you pretty much have to, I mean, to be fair, to be completely fair, after this D-Machine grind, I might go to the moon.
Moon does look tempting right now.
I might say underground, we don't need to go there.
Because the only thing you've got really down there is that Luca key. Sure, there's a few open checks with the Dwarf Castle, one half of Tower, and Feymarsh, and Sheila 1, but the Moon's going to give you possibly the last of any experience you're going to need, and potential key items up there as well.
So I hope you, Chad, I hope you like grinds, because both of them are going to be at this for just a little bit here.
So how far would you go with this grind?
That's the question right now. I mean, bare minimum, you need Nuke on that kid. But you do have Quorum, a little... I mean, that's hard. Oh, a Rune Axe on Dragus' side. Finally, viable Paladin weaponry acquired.
Personally, I would deplete Fu's MP and then leave it at that.
That actually sounds pretty well there, especially given... I don't know exactly if that's going to get you to...
It likely wouldn't. The reason why...
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I'm saying it is there's still the possibility of that Baron Key being hidden.
Yes.
And you're likely going to get some levels along the way, and if you go into the Moon next, which it would likely be my play, you don't need any extra grind on this. You can get the rest up there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I believe if you just used up Fu's MP, even with this Lit 2 coming out, he has 7 weeks in the tank right now. Both of them, however, did find that Hummingway shop, so we do know that both of them can keep this up for quite some time.
Error seems to have a little bit of advantage here because he has got his D-Machine up, and Dragus is spending a little bit of time on this last arm fight. However, if he pulls out a Crystal Sword from this, I'd say advantage goes back to him.
Yeah, if Cecil gets any kind of... I mean, like I said, did find a Rune Axe, so at the least is online, I guess.
You don't really want to rely on it. If even a high-level Cecil has fairly low accuracy out of that. A second power shirt, though.
That's not bad. Even without that Holy Sword, that Rune Axe, while unfortunately not the best on the accuracy range, will do quite a bit of work. Another Curse Ring there in case you missed the first one as well.
Dragus did not, so he's got 2 now, but Error doesn't have 1. So, double advantage?
We can call it that, yes.
But that does give a little bit to Dragus because he is able to manage his agility a little bit better later down the line. Although I think Error is going to focus on Teller just being unconscious for the most part.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Teller's likely going to be, he was named Floor in Dragus' Seed, however, I believe that is what he will be doing in Error Seed.
I'm not certain if this is the fight for Dragus.
He is sticking around, so...
Feels too early for when he came in. Yeah, I think it would be the next one rather than this one. If I'm reading where he stopped on the grind fight manipulation map.
Yeah, I'm not looking at one right now, and I am not the best at said grind fight manipulation here, so I will defer to you on that one there.
We'll find out.
Is in a little bit of trouble there. It had to go to Fu for that. Okay, never mind. Has the virus there. Was on Tella. And I believe that is a punch from Yang. Yep, that is announcing that Error says, "That's plenty. I'm done." Maybe.
Might be just putting Tella down because he's got a problem with the turn mapping.
Yeah, might be that as well. Of course, Tella is also out of MP at this point, and let's face it, he was probably going to put Tella down anyway, so...
Yeah, and there's the confirmation. It is a horseman.
It is a horseman. Is Dragus saying this is okay? Nope, that's a virus going on to the Searcher.
Yeah, I believe from where he stopped for his first encounter, it would be the second. It would be the next encounter after this one.
Surprised he didn't just run it out and to get there, but.
Oh, HP ran out on the Searcher.
You love to see it. Unfortunately, with the XP from that on Dragus, there will be no slingshots for either twin, it looks like.
I don't think he had it set up anyway, so I don't think it's really mattering.
Yeah, it did turn encounters off to go back there. Now, if you are either of these players, after your grind is done, do you peek the element slot?
Knowing that this is your team, because there's no characters to find, and you know where the King Queen Evelyn is, the only thing you're missing is a Mist Dragon, and that's too big of a thing.
I just said peek. I wouldn't say, like, take it, but that reset button does exist for...
Yeah. There's two schools of thought, really. A yes or no. It's always down to one of those two things. I would say no. Personally, I'd just leave and hope to find demons somewhere else.
Yep. 680,000 XP is where Error stopped. Palom, a measly 47 levels. He's got everything.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough for Porum, but it does get her up to Cure 4, which is plenty for what's going to be planned here. The rest can come naturally.
Yeah, even an Hourglass 3 to go along with it there.
That is the good thing about this Steam Machine grind. You can get Zeus Rages, Hourglass 3s, Tents out of it. The pool is quite big for that particular fight.
Error does give us the peak, shows us the lunar sparkle, but not which one it is.
That Hourglass 3 could come into play on the hook route.
Yeah, it felt like Error was a little bit behind for most of this match, but did get the D-Machine fight up a lot faster. We see Dragus now has the D-Machine available here, but Error is already on the way out, having completed that grind much more efficiently here.
Yeah, it just took a little bit, just beelined for the fight itself. Elf looks like he had the tracker up the grind fight manipulation and chart up, so found it very easily. Dragus just took a little bit of time to get there, checking all the chests, and unfortunately got sidetracked by that horseman fight.
Error is checks everything again, says, yeah, I'll go to the moon here. By no means is Dragus even out of this here, because this grind will get everybody there up to usable levels here. We're just in a race for that Baron key here. Personally, with everything else being as easy as possible, I feel I want it to be in a rabbit hole about the size of what myself and Scratch ran into yesterday.
Would be nice. What I'd like to see is some divergence here. Error's going up to the moon. I'd like to see Dragus go underground and do that play. So one of them is making a gamble on the other's opposite.
Okay. Also, I do need to pick up one thing real quick. Can I leave you for 1 minute, Mom? Here.
No. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Thank you.
To start off with, Error is heading out into Cape Value because might as well I'll check that first. Looks like he's going to be focusing that into a top-down play. Just find that Baron key as quickly as possible, and well, Cape Value is value. These levels his levels aren't going to really make this too much difficult, but D-Mist is still going to hit hard in this. He hasn't found great defensive gear for these particular characters. Yang is hoping to take them and punches. So pull him down. There is a blink out on Palom though, that should be enough to finish up what we need here. And he's likely going to take advantage of this missed phase to 1, pick up Palom, 2, knock down Teller. And Blink is as overpowered as you might think it is right now.
My apologies, I see we have found double potential value in Cave Bahamut, however.
Yeah, Cave Value is definitely value today.
I do see Dragus has also finished up. It looked like Palom got all of the tier 3 elemental spells. Borum got fairly well loaded here. That's a party in the mid 40s, and does look like he's going to take it there. He's gonna also do the check here. Going to see that lunar sparkle.
He might look at it long enough to see what it is. Nope. Never mind.
Nothing for us. I mean, to be fair, with this party, that Cecil, that Yang, mid-40s is still enough to pretty much steamroll anything else on this seed. And as you said, we'll get the final spells likely off of a potential lunar grind here.
Yeah, finishing early usually means that you're going to look to get some levels elsewhere. So his next play is likely going to the moon, and that's sort of the sort of bad news for him because that does put him behind.
Speaking of bad news, that's an Odin summon off of Cave Bahamut there.
That's not ideal, but you still got the Mist Dragon play. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes down to check that immediately, leaving a save up on the moon. And then, if it's not the item he wants, come back up.
Val asking the question I was about to. Do you save scum that Mist Dragon check? Apparently, Error is saying yes, because Jess did poke that Flight Crystal to head back down to Earth, while Dragus is giving us our divergence. It is Moon versus Underground now.
Exactly what I want. Exactly what I wanted to see here. One of these is going to be the correct play. We don't know which one yet, but whichever one's got it, likely wins.
Look at Dragus stocking up on Soma drops here. Have you ever seen a Fu with 400 hit point or MP? Well, probably not that much, but Fu at 250, 270 sounds good to me.
I have seen it before, and it's as amazing as you think. Wow.
Value at Cave Bahamut. You're welcome.
Error just has won this. This could be one of the fastest matches we've seen, which we will see in the bracket stages. He's
yeah.
on it.
It is taking the swag lunar whale flight here, going to park it right in front of Baron. Probably feeling excellent about where Error is right now.
Yeah, so here's the question. Do you fight the King Queen Evelyn, then run back the way you came, or do you fight the boss on the King's Throne?
I think Fu is at max power either right now or with one more fight. However, I would likely... the thing is, I would likely fight the throne, because it usually is faster. I'm going to preface that usually with me saying that has immediately placed Golbez in the throne slot right now.
It is actually slightly quicker to walk out. Now, if it's on a straight sort of fight to leave basis. So anything you fight that's fairly rude on the throne just makes it that little bit more or exasperate. We'll see what Terra does, and it might very well come down to, does Fu need to add additional boss to get to max power?
1746 with the D machine levels does make me think he's probably, I would say, 3 bosses away from max power. Because he probably gained more than probably like 3 or 4 levels there.
Yeah, but he doesn't gain a whole lot of HP, so that's likely 1700 base. So 2 bosses, as Valvulis is saying, to finish it up.
Oh, there's Nuke getting away, so that might make him, yep, say, Nuke, that's all I need, I'm gone.
He might see it much more conductive to just take one of the easier bosses in, say, the vanilla D-Mist location, or in the water in the waterfall cave.
Yeah, also not a bad idea there. Yeah, I would definitely, just because we all know what the Zeromus fight can do. Meanwhile, on the other side, we do find a Mom Bomb in the King Queen Evelyn slot there. Know exactly what that...
and just a little bit early on, yeah, just a little bit early on that quake, hadn't targeted them all, so it only hits one. An entire earthquake hits 1 bomb.
The Aftershock got the rest of them, however. That is true. Borom does not have white. Could just buzz the D-Lunars on the way down to pick up that last spell on the other twin.
Yeah, he's going straight up to the moon again, so definitely making in the play to Zeromus now. Just might make that stop.
Yeah, we see the mute bell come out, exactly what it's necessary for. That rune axe about to do silly amounts of damage to these mage type guards.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just not the correct way.
Dragus has found everything he needed for this seed, apart from one thing.
Yeah, apart from the most important thing, unfortunately.
Yeah. And he played this seed well. It's been in short. It's been an hour. We're an hour in.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised the K Bahamut play came so fast. K Bahamut is one of those places, and I say this as an alumni of Team Bahamut, Team K Bahamut as 2018. It is a play for when you feel like you're behind.
And the fact it was there just this is just rando. You can't say anything else. It's just luck of the draw. Error went up. Drakus is going down. I said it's a 50-50. One of them's the one that finds the Baron key is going to win it.
Absolutely, you cannot fault Dragus's play here. Does not take a look at the top of the tower boss, however. Probably doesn't need to see it, honestly, but yeah.
He might be looking at this underground and saying, well, Moon's got items up there and got levels for me, but...
Do I make free checks here?
Yeah, there's free checks down here. What is my opponent going to play? Am I going to do the thing that's different to him? Am I going to do the thing that I think he's going to do, and feel I can do it quicker?
Jeebus, the Baron key was on Rydia's mom via the Demist fight up in Cave Bahamut.
That rune axe is doing a proper workout on Dragus's side.
Yeah, it's a very nice weapon. You'd rather your user be in the middle for just to get that little bit of extra accuracy. However, you love to see Mega Sisters while you're equipping it here.
Yeah. However, we've got to really focus on Error now. Can he close this seed out? He's heading to Zeromus now, and I believe we've got an hour and 4 minutes, probably, of a certain question.
Ah, man, it feels way too early to be saying this. We have a complete jet on our hands, but with how fast is this, whose butt are we going to kick very quickly tonight?
You got me. I have no idea, and this... Inventable's probably thinking he's the one that rolled this seed today. Why can't I roll these seeds for myself?
I am completely in the other camp right there. I love my seeds to be old manless. No Fu, no Tella, no D machines. We do have a replacement Porom or extra Porom. And some D-Lunars in the second fight. I blinked and did not see the did not see how fast those Mega Sisters went down, but...
Well, they're down, so it must have been fairly quick.
Yeah.
Probably one shot on each one.
So we're going to likely see a few Yang punches before Error decides to likely try to shove Zeromus, or shall we say the Grinchmas, into the microwave.
Well, he got caught stealing Christmas today.
Alright, I'm going to... Oh, never mind. Venerable, you beat me to it, because I was even going to sing that one.
Scarlet Gilly saying it, so you know what to do. You always follow what Scarlet Gilly says.
Perhaps after we're done. Only a Zeus Rage at Dwarf Castle.
Porum's still fairly low amount of hit points here, so this may actually turn into a hybrid strategy rather than a full-on reflect.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen here is I think the math is going to come out. Porum is possibly going to be taking a nap here very soon. I would guess.
Yeah, I don't think he's got any way to stop Yang from punching.
Oh, I did not. If that's Berserk there, then yeah, this is going to be full-on hybrid.
Yeah, 1,000 from a nerfed Big Bang, so Porum will not survive the second one most likely. Palom likely will, as long as you can get his HP back up to over 2,000. But Porum doesn't look like she will.
No, just gonna sling some Cure 4s here. Crystal Ring in the free chest down in Land of Summons. And at this point, if you're Dragus, not even knowing that your opponent is already at Z, are you starting to sweat?
Actually, I wouldn't. No, I don't think he would be right now. I think this is such an early go mode and such an early Z fight. I don't think he's going to know what hits him once the dot done is out. He knows it's close because of you're only looking for the Baron key, but I don't think he's going to be expecting it this quick.
No, I assume this dot done is going to be a very Dragus going to look at that and say, "Wait, what just happened here?" Finding a Pain Man in the Asura slot has more than enough hit points to just walk through this.
Yeah, so he's seeing all these free things and he's trying them, and not a bad idea at all, but it's just nothing's there.
No. I mean, you don't blame him for this play. I'd take this fight right now. I'd take the other fight right now.
So here comes this. Is that the second Big Bang?
I think that might be the third Big Bang. He's nerfed 2 so far. That one was full power, however, and none of the kids drop still, and here comes more nukes. Oh no, that's a pan on Pain Man. Odds on Dragus checking that quickly, almost 100%. There's the flash, there's the boom. Down goes Grinchmas. Unfortunately, not the hero of today's story. Heart did not grow by 3 sizes this day.
And that is 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 28 seconds for a victory. If we see another one that's quicker than this in the bracket seeds, I might eat a sandwich.
I was expecting to talk here for like another hour, to be completely fair. But yeah, so let's attempt to bring Error into this just to ask about, and that's the ping there. I believe we are joined by error72. That was way too fast, my friend. Good game.
That was a seed. And having the restream pulled up, I mean, there was one super big decision point, just because of how, just because of how the objectives came out and where the objectives were. Do you go moon or do you go underground?
Yeah, and you went moon. Dragus, as you likely have seen, has gone underground. 50-50. Whichever one unfound the Baron key first was going to win this. You chose right with the moon, you get the victory.
So I chose Moon because one, I had an easy way to grind on the giant. So it was like my party's pretty much set. Let's just do a grind. Let's get our levels and then let's mash Moon.
Yeah.
Also because I didn't have Tower Key, I didn't have Pan, I didn't have any of the like let's go underground items. And so it's like once I had my levels, it's like it just seems like I don't have to go through, whatever was in Upper Babel.
Yeah. The only thing you had was Luca Key.
Yes.
And no one's going to go underground just for that. Yes, there's free checks underground, but the moon is much more dense, and you didn't have quite as much levels on Porum. You were probably looking for a couple of extra levels there, for maybe white or just extra hit points. So moon was the logical play for you.
Right.
Meanwhile, just to jump in here, Sylph's continuing the theme. A third power shirt found via the Sylphs.
There was a power shirt in the last arm chest which Drake has picked up, so that's the free. Then you found the one that was in the Troya Treasury. There were two cursed rings that we've seen so far, and you somehow skipped them both. So congratulations on that.
Well, since I knew Tella was in the seed, I wasn't super concerned about a curse string because as long as I play my cards right and keep them dead, you don't really need a curse string.
And seeing that Fu just said, "Oh right, I know who my anchor's going to be now. I don't need anyone else."
Right, and so I didn't have any weaponry for Cecil, so I immediately kicked them out once I found the Tella. And having the extra casts of weak made the grind super easy because I went searching for ethers and eventually found Ether 2s on the moon.
Was it real quick, was it the lack of Cecil weaponry, or just the fact that you wanted that Tele anchor for what seemed to be like hybrid stress there, make you want to kick that Cecil out?
I mean, I had a well-equipped Yang with 2 cat claws and a power shirt. And I had nothing for Cecil at the time, and it's just like, well, I'm gonna slingshot this Porum. Not Porum, slingshot the Palom. If I get white on Porum, then that's a bonus, but I wasn't really going for it. I didn't have white for the Z fight, so I just went, and with as early as I got go mode, I felt way ahead. So, feeling way ahead like that, I just went hybrid strats. I mean, keep it simple. Don't worry about it. Just don't do any shenanigans. Just keep it nice and easy.
Just don't mess up. You feel ahead. Just play it simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
I decided to check Cave Bahamut first because reasons, and then when I saw the Mist Dragon there, and then went immediately back to Earth, it's like, well, even if Mist Dragon has a chain item, I can always still reset back up the moon, and then if I don't find anything, on the moon, then I'll come back and pick up the item from Mist Dragon when I come back down. Because even still, so it's like I still like to have white on the Porum.
Yeah, I think we were trying to guess if you were maybe just going to stop by like the D-Lunar spot, maybe to fish out that last little bit of XP you needed for white on Porum, but as shown, you did not need it whatsoever.
Yeah, it just turned out to be one of those seeds. It's just one of those seeds where there's, like I say, the one huge decision point, and I made the right one, and Dragus did not make the right one, and it just ended up being one of those.
And you were completely even, and all the way up to that point, it was just split off at that point. And then what happened.
Yep. Just gotta know there is always value in the Bahamut stand.
So, do you have any last things before we let you get off to a very early end?
Sorry I didn't bring music. My apologies.
Look-
I don't think
Looks
either
like
of you
it
have
was
the
in a
foot arm
chain anyway.
still.
Yeah, it's in the tower, the tower rooms, the cannon room. So it looks like it's behind a chain somewhere.
But I'm looking forward to next week where I play the winner of, I believe, Penguin and...
Yeah,
Ekminator and Kendril, we are not going to give any spoilers of that match. It is going on in another channel right now. However, I would ask you not to turn your eyes from this channel, as we did say that this is the first match of a double header. So we do have another one coming up as soon as Dragus does finish here.
So yeah, we'll let you go and check out your opponents and see what you can glean from there, and we'll focus back on Dragus and see how quickly he can find his go mode.
Thank you.
Does reset out of the keyless tower check, however. Has likely solved it, has obviously seen the dot done by this point in time. Is probably asking himself, where is that Baron key?
And in his mind, he's made the same play as what Error did, just Error went to the correct place first. So he's checking all of these spots underground, and in the game of hot and cold that this is, it couldn't be more cold.
Unfortunately, like I said, there is nothing wrong with everything Dragus is doing right now. Rando will rando you, and with a single point of success or failure here, in this case in the Baron key, it was just whoever guessed right, and Error did guess right.
I guess we do get to see at least a little bit more of the seed than what we did get.
I know, right? I mean, I feel robbed. No lunar subterrane, no any of this. Where's my gold? Where's my gold as an Ogopogo, guys?
And this item is...
Oh no!
Well, that's to music.
Yeah, that is to music. Unfortunately, I know exactly how that rabbit hole feels.
So we still may get music in this. It might be the last thing he does. I'm not too sure what his thinking is right now, but...
Dr. Luge there, easy boss to find here, is a little fast, but that's about all he has going for himself here.
Yang is looking to do a lot of damage here. The second spot's going to be a little bit more dangerous because of the speed, and what Dr. Luge does is more hit point percentage damage rather than straight up damage, but still shouldn't be too much of a pain.
Not really. With double quakes, both good doctor or bad doctor, depending on your viewpoint, are going to fall in short order. No Balnepzi. And Dr. Luge likely to follow, likely by Fu Microwave. That is kind of what happens whenever Fu is present in a seed.
Yeah. Quakes, viruses, nukes, the occasional white from him. Just that microwave, like you said, though, is needed today.
It's likely going to, yep, we're getting the poison walk on the way out here. Is gonna walk it the whole way, is not going to be warping out, however.
Well, we just get witness to this wonderful display of artistry and tones. Luckily, I'm on mute at the moment because of the
myself
restream.
as well
So
here. Everybody else is, however.
Yeah, so enjoy it, everyone. We'll just sit here imagining it's not there.
Or imagine it is, because it's not a terrible noise at least.
No, if you like an alarm clock going. Personally, I don't like alarm clocks going because it means I have to get up.
Not especially. I mean, it's a little quieter than my alarm clock. And it's a whole lot better than Final Fantasy 1 Poison.
So, making the next logical play, going straight up the tower, going to check that key, going to find it's the twin harp, and
we're not sure after that.
Yeah.
I mean, the speedrunner into me says, okay, this is our rabbit hole. And if there's something we do with our rabbit holes, we commit to it.
I think it was Bahamut that was the boss if I remember the sprite correctly.
I was not paying attention at the time, actually. So I will defer to you on this one.
Oh, don't do that. I'm most likely wrong.
Well, it is a lunar sparkle of some kind. And I will say you were in the correct monster class.
Well, technically not, because Peldim's a dragon and Bahamut's a summon monster.
Well, I mean, I was going to give you some credit.
Nah, don't do that. Look, one of the two of us has made it to the next round.
True. I did not get to watch that match. I am going to have to watch that match. I hear it was extremely close.
Yeah. So it should be me deferring to you rather than vice versa.
No, but I am trying to. Apparently, a lot of talking I did has people looking at me. I would like to decrease my threat level. No threat here whatsoever, guys. It's just 27 seed and I do.
Don't believe him. Yeah, we're talking about the comeback king over there, so yeah, don't believe him.
I do like that title, however, what are we going to get? No, wait, you didn't say Twin Harp, so yeah, Twin Harp. Are we going to hear music? I would like to hear music.
Well, he's up and going up.
And is headed to Hobbs?
That's an interesting place. He's already been here. He's already got Young from up here. I think he's a bit confused as to how Error got this victory so quickly.
Yeah, I think he may not recall where the King Queen Evelyn was here. Always pay attention to that start, boss, everybody. It might save your run.
And he's probably thinking in his head that this music is still too slow for it. So let's just go anyway and see what happens.
Well, Ralphian, who was Z? While Invenerable has spoiled it, I hear there are 3 words that best describe him, and I do quote, stink, stank, stunk. And that's all the singing I'm going to do. You're welcome, Scala Kitty. Okay, so we are diving. Any ideas after my not-so-musical display of an actual musical display that we are going to see here?
Well, anything can be an improvement, I suppose.
I will stick to my day job of free enterprise.
But then again, Edward is known for for two things: his luscious locks and his ability with a harp.
This is true. Unfortunately, we have a right rude critic here in the Dark Elf. Doesn't seem to like any of it.
Yeah, but he's an elf, a dark elf.
They don't like anything, from what I've heard.
Yeah, light elves are okay. Dark elves, they're a bit of big grouchy.
True. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up for just a moment here and see what kind of music we have on Edward Jams today. Unfortunately cut extremely short here as the Dark Elf goes down. Part of me says that is a beautiful song. Part of me wants to do Statler and Waldorf to it. That is a legend sword, however. That is the Kokol shop open.
And Excalibur, but it's also a pretty appropriate music to sign off because after seeing the dead end here, Dragus has forfeited, unfortunately. But we want to thank him for doing everything and getting as far as he has in the tournament today. In these past weeks, because he's been an amazing runner.
Yeah, an incredible sport there. Thank him for doing everything he did. Don't sleep on him in 3 Masson because I'm sure he will be there. I'm sure you're going to see most of the eliminated runners. There's going to be a lot of us here. Will be there. So I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where you hate to see people go, but there you are. But again, error72, the winner, going to be playing the winner of Kedril and Penguinator. So we'll be seeing that next week. However, I believe that is the end of this stream. However, we're going to be taking a very short break here as we set up for the next match here. As I believe Invenerable is telling us that we're going to be doing this pretty seamless. New Restream Cooler is just going to move in here, so stick around. We are not done yet.
Yeah. Enjoy the next race. We'll see what happens.